And that night, without anything else to do, I turned on the cab light and I pulled out the book of Psalms and I began to pray the Psalms, not for the first time, but for the first real time. And I was shocked because I came upon language in the Psalms that said things that I was too scared to say to God. Here was some brazen honesty. Here was some bold and audacious language. These were not the kind of prayers that I'd heard in church. The kind of prayers I heard in church were very G-rated. This was on the border of R. And this was not, oh, sweet Jesus, I'm just kind of lonely and I really need you. This was like, where are you? Have you forgotten to be gracious? How long? If anybody tells you you can't question God, they've never read the Psalms, because those Psalms are full of questions. Why? Where? How long? What are you doing in my life? I was finally able to be honest with God in prayer and to say, I'm mad at you. I love you too. I'm mad at myself. I don't know where you're at. I don't know what you think about me. I don't know how long you're gonna keep me in this terrible situation that I'm in. But the Psalms gave me actual prayers to pray to God. And here's the cool thing. These prayers were from God, and I offer them back to God. So obviously if they came from God, He likes them, right? God actually likes for me to be bold and honest and audacious and brazen in my prayers. And so that's what I started to do. I just started to let it all out, which is exactly what I needed, which is exactly, this drives me nuts, but I don't know how we have forgotten that in the church. It's all over the place. It's all over the Psalms. How do you pray to God when you're mad at Him? You tell Him you're mad at Him. How do you pray to God when you don't know what He's doing in your life? You tell Him, I don't know what you're doing in my life. You're honest. Do you think He doesn't know it already? Of course He does. He can take it. Not only that, but that's the example He's given to us in the Psalms. So thanks be to God, I finally found the language I could use to speak out to the God that I didn't know where I stood with Him. Well, what began to take place very, 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 very slowly is that God, who had broken me down, began to put parts and pieces of me back together in a very different sort of way. He started to form me back from dust into these little fragments, and the fragments He kind of glued together. And I actually began to feel a little bit better about life. And I met someone. And after a very brief courtship, we got engaged and got married. And then about 6 months later, she walked in and said she didn't love me anymore and wanted me out.